No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Welcome to you all at home.
You've still got a chance to win this race, haven't you? Just try. I wanna be the only one to make you
Hey guys, Dre here, and surprise surprise, you're getting back-to-back Dre TV episodes this week. Well, a nice surprise for all you guys watching, huh? Mainly because during the time it took to upload yesterday's episode talking about the F1 social media issues that they've got at the moment, a bit of breaking news dropped through the clanger as I was recording that episode, and the news was that Carmen Jorda was hired by Lotus to be a new developmental driver for them, or new development driver for the team. And yeah, in case you haven't already guessed, Carmen Jorda is a woman, and a very attractive one at that. I'm sure most people would agree. But yeah, I had to make this video. It really frustrated me seeing this happen, and for what it's worth, I'm really, really unhappy about this news, because I think it sets a dangerous precedent for where the sport is headed, and I think it sends out a very negative message about women in motorsport, women trying to get into Formula 1, and what it's going to take for a woman to get a job in this sport. And I find it deeply concerning that this is a thing, and it just strikes me as terrible more than anything else. Okay, so it's a quick background explanation. Carmen Jorda is 26. She is a developmental driver now for Lotus. That was announced today. It was a bit of a similar deal to when Susie Wolff got signed by Williams as a development driver back in 2013. I actually made a video about that, I think, just under 2 years ago now. Back when F1 2013 was still a thing and I was doing the online racer. And I already spoke about Susie Wolff back then and how I felt like she didn't really represent the credentials needed to make it into Formula 1, and I thought that was a bit concerning. And I said back then I was all for a woman in F1 if she had the ability to back it up. I don't want a woman to be put on the grid for the sake of it. And as much as Carmen Jorda's got about as much chance of making it into Formula 1 that I do, sharing a bath with Jennifer Lawrence, it doesn't mean this is okay, and I'm annoyed by this. And you may question as to why, but in case you don't know, I would say look up Carmen Jorda's racing statistics on Wikipedia, but I've already gone to the trouble of doing that for you, so you're welcome. Basically, the main bulk of Carmen's career has been on either Indy Lights, which was in one season in 2010, where she finished 16th, and she's done 3 years in GP3. She's done more GP3 races than anyone else. She's done 3 seasons, and despite that, she's failed to score a single point. Her average finishing position is 21st. She's never finished the GP3 championship more than 28th spot. She's been disqualified on 3 occasions. And the best finish she's ever had in a GP3 race was 13th. Yet, she's now getting a job as an F1 development driver. Am I the only one who finds that very, very concerning? Because, let's be real here, she's not got this job on merit. In fact, if we were judging peak drivers getting that job on merit, there'd probably be about 100 other drivers that would be more qualified to take in an F1 development driver's seat than her. Which makes you think, oh great, she's another pay driver, wonderful. It's doubly annoying when you just saw Alex Lynn sign a development deal with Williams, and Alex Lynn is the GP3 world champion, and he can't get a full-time seat. But, you know, Carmen Jorda, who is 100 times less qualified than Lynn, has got the same job as Lynn. I find that mind-bogglingly stupid. And, yeah, I completely agree what you're all thinking at home right now. Yeah, she's a pay driver. She's an extreme version of a pay driver. And you know what? She's not a pay driver at the same time. It's actually worse than that. It's not only a pay driver. We've evolved. It's like seeing Charizard and then finding Mega Evolution. We've found a new level of pay driver. We are now reaching the gender driver level. A driver who's not only paid their way in, but on top of that, has also been able to be signed as a marketing tool to mislead other people. Because all it takes is one Google search on Carmen Jorda to find out how terrible her reputation is as a racing driver. And you may have seen some of the Reddit posts I've already posted or tweets I've already talked about it. Her peers are already mocking her on the open internet. Connor Daly taking the piss. Mitch Evans taking the piss. Will Buxton, who said she was a second a corner slower round Eau Rouge. That's 19 seconds a lap. I swear to God, some Formula 4 drivers would be better for this seat. Hell, I'd reckon some sim racers would be better for this job. Has anyone got Morgan Moran's phone number? Like, seriously, it's mind-boggling. And you know what? This damages Lotus's reputation as a brand, it damages the credibility of Formula 1, and it makes a mockery of the ladder of trying to get into the sport. Because how on earth can someone who is nothing more than a backmarker in the third-ranking feeder series to get into Formula 1 be getting jumped up into F1 development seats? She's not good enough. And they just signed Esteban Ocon, who won the Formula 3 European Championship this year. You know, the other rookie in the category that was faster than Max Verstappen was. It's really frustrating, and it says a lot about the state of the sport as it is, where, you know, drivers that are this bad can get seats because they have that much cash and they can just bypass the system. I mentioned before, talking about the super license issues that came up a couple of months ago, and I said how the changes were mostly going to be a good thing because it will reward merit over cash. That doesn't take place until 2016, so this has got to be a thing right now. And to put it into perspective, Dean Stoneman walked into the same car that Carmen Jorda left behind and won in Russia in his first race. How can you be a development driver when you're not even good at driving a car? If you're that slow and you can't get the most out of your car, you're not qualified for that job. Period. Unless your job involves posing sexy around a Lotus Formula 1 car and basically getting a bunch of 25-year-old guys to unzip their pants. Like, this is not good. This is terrible. Like I said, it's worse than pay drivers because drivers and like those pay drivers, at least most of them are pretty decent when it comes to driving a car. Marcus Ericsson was a good high-level runner in GP2. Chilton is now probably the fastest guy in Indy Lights. Pastor Maldonado was a GP2 world champion in his own right. Felipe Nasr was second in the said championship we're talking about right now. If I'm Joylan Palmer and Esteban Ocon, I'd be insulted right now. Like, wait, so I'm third driver, yet this woman got a job as well? Like, I don't get it. And you know what? It's not a sexist thing. I'm not judging Carmen getting this job because of the fact she's a woman. I think it's definitely a factor. I'm more angry at the fact that her credentials are so terrible and the fact she got in. If we're ever going to get to a point where it comes to equality in Formula 1 and in motorsport in general, women are given a lot of opportunities if they're good enough, and I'm glad. The best female driver, I'd argue, in the world right now that could be qualified to be driving in Formula 1 is Simone de Silvestro, and she got dropped by Sauber because she ran out of money. And Simone is a decent midfield level runner in IndyCar. You know, IndyCar proper. She was on the podium last year. Like, she would blow Carmen out of the water. But you know, hire the model. Okay, of course. You can see I'm heated just talking about this. I'm going to lose my mind if I keep talking about this. But if we ever want to get to that stage where women are treated equally in Formula 1 or in motorsport in general, teams have got to take it upon themselves to stop hiring marketing tools to be part of their team, because it sends a false image about how to get into Formula 1, especially if you're women especially if you're a woman in a field that is 99% dominated by men. I know not enough women are taking part in motorsport at a grassroots level. I understand that. But this is not a good figure for the sport at the moment. You know, I know sex sells and whatnot. I know Lotus are short of money. But morally and ethically, this is just wrong. Like, shouldn't we be rewarding drivers who are really good with seats like this? Look at a guy like Connor Daly, who is super talented, who's been knocked back by IndyCar because of money, and knocked back of Formula 1 because of money. Guys like that are missing out, whereas other people who have the money are bypassing the system. It's terrible. This sends out the wrong message to women. It's like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to be particularly good at racing. Just as long as daddy's got a good amount of money in the bank, you can get in. No! It shouldn't be like that. And honestly, if you're female and you're watching this, and I know it's probably going to be a very, very small amount of people, because I know for a fact of my analytics, 94% of my audience are male. Hear me out on this one. I know people are going to say, oh, but it's a woman in F1, and that's a good thing. Not when they're being used like this, when we all know, and everyone knows deep down she didn't get in on merit. Like, this sends out the wrong message. I've said it time and time again. Women, you need to ask for more, in my opinion. If you want to be represented properly, push the women to the top and talk about the girls that deserve an opportunity. Not Carmen. What? She's not good enough at that level. She wasn't good enough at Spanish Formula 3 level, let alone Indy Lights or GP3. Ask for more, because if you're backing Carmen to make it just because she's female, you're a part of the problem, and that's not acceptable. And I think I speak for everybody here when I say we should all be encouraging the really good drivers to be getting into Formula 1, rather than the ones who are there to make up the numbers via marketing bills. And that's what frustrates me about Formula 1 right now. We've moved beyond pay drivers. We've now reached gender drivers, where women like Susie Wolff and Carmen Jorda, who, no disrespect, are not really good enough to be Formula 1 drivers, but seem to be getting in because of the fact they're girls and teams need marketing, cash and sponsors. That's not how it should be. I just wanted to get that off my chest more than anything else, because it's frustrating. The game is broken. It should not be like this. Yeah. Let me know what you guys have got to say on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. You know, should Carmen Jorda be getting an F1 job of this standard? Should he be going to somebody else? And what do you think of the idea of women in F1 in general? I mean, like I said before, I'm all for women in Formula 1 as long as they have the credentials and the ability to justify it. This is not an example of that. Until next time, I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!